Now, bringing you the very best in New Hampshire-based local music on IPMNation.com and 100.1 The Planet, this is Local Outbreak.
I'm doing what I gotta do to reach my peak. Right where I'm supposed to be. Globally's the goal you see. So what I'm starting locally, I'm building up my entity. Got no time for frenemies. Jealous ones who envy me can never match my energy. I don't know what you think about me. I can't help it though. It's not my business, no. I don't know what you think about me. I can't help it though. It's not my business, no. I don't know what you think about me. I can't help it though. It's not my business, no. I don't know what you think about me. I can't help it though. It's not my business, no.
What a great track to kick off. And we have FateOne here with us in studio. How are you? Welcome.
I'm doing well. How are we today?
Good. Did we meet you through Hope the Rapper?
I believe that a post that Hope the Rapper put up is what led us to be here today.
Right. Yeah.
Something he put up, and then I reached out directly to Jen.
Yeah, we've been doing this 10 weeks of new world radio premieres of Hope the Rapper singles. And it's been a big success. And today, this was week 10, the last one, Eviction Notice, that we played a little bit ago. But another great track from him. He's amazing. He's so talented. And of course, he was with us during the first hour today.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you guys did Problems, right?
Yes.
Yes, I was on Problems.
Oh, you were on that
chorus.
one?
I'm the one
okay.
that sings on the chorus.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Have you done a couple of tracks with him?
I have a few that I have done, some unreleased, and then some released. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And that track, I Don't Know, is that brand new?
That's fairly new.
Okay.
It's the one that I'm pushing right now. That I've just been working on. Just making sure to get it out there. It's some plain bold message, nice, quick, sweet.
Yeah. Can you pull that mic in a little closer?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. That mic's up.
How are we doing?
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Much better now.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So you said you were talking off air about you've got a video coming up for that, or?
Yes. So I shot a video about 2 weeks ago, and I'll be releasing it next Saturday on my birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Will this be the first video you've done?
No, this will be my 9th video.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It'll be the first video I do with Crispy Pig, which is a photographer out of Manchester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you get connected with? Is that a person, or is that the company?
That is a person and a company.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. So Crispy Pig, we originally connected about 2 years ago. I booked him for a showcase as a photographer.
Yeah.
And we've been working ever since.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This will be. Did you say this will be the first one with?
With Crispy.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you do the previous ones? Did you work with somebody else, or was it all DIY? Or?
So all the previous ones, I have dealt with probably 3 or 4 videographers.
Yeah.
So out of my 9 videos, 4 of those videos are from One Eye Visuals.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hope worked with them too. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Him and I, we around the same circle, around the same people.
Yeah.
And we've been lucky enough to just have great talent and then just great people around us to continue to work with us and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, a few other videographers, Dynamic TV and Gill Videos,
Okay.
which is just all great people all around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've mainly worked a lot with One Eye Visuals, and I'm going to continue working with him as well.
Yeah.
As we have some plans and some ideas for some future projects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how do you define the genre that you're working in? Because it's kind of
So it's a mix. So I'm a singer songwriter.
Yeah.
However, the way that I write like a rapper.
right. Yeah, that's interesting to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So my writing process is like rapper brain almost.
Yeah.
So I throw in punchlines, double entendres.
Yeah.
And then I'm singing it.
Yeah.
So I like to call it something like an R&B hip hop
Mhm.
because 90% of the beats I choose are hip hop,
Yeah.
but I'm always singing behind them,
Mhm.
whether I'm doing it in a different tone
Yeah.
or, less vocals, more vocals,
Yeah.
Some say I sound like a rapper,
Yeah.
but I don't classify myself as a rapper. I'm a singer-songwriter, vocal engineer.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting to me because when you sent me your music and it's like each of the tracks, it starts out, it sounds like I'm expecting rapping,
Mhm.
and then you're singing, and it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how I diversify myself, and it's just what I originally love. I grew
Mhm.
up listening to hip hop, R&B, Latin music, merengue.
Yeah.
It's just a melting pot of music, and I've taken those influences and just have kind of created my own sound, where I have mastered it, and I feel like I'm one of the only ones doing that kind of sound. You don't hear many artists like myself today,
hmm
and it's just something that I enjoy doing. you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was commenting too off air. I appreciated that I didn't, not that I mind doing it, but
Mhm.
I didn't have to make any radio edits.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was nice.
Yeah. I pride myself in making not only my job easier, but also, making sure that my lyrics and everything fit into play so that way I don't have to censor myself. I
Right.
don't have to change lyrics. I don't have to, memorize two different versions of a song,
Yes.
which is something that's difficult within itself,
Right. Right.
when you have a portfolio like myself, it's a lot to remember.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
So just keeping it simple, simplicity is genius. I do believe in the words that I say as well.
hmm
Just practice what I preach.
How many? You mentioned your portfolio. How many songs have you recorded?
So released, I have, anywhere from 20 to 30 songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Out. Yeah, it could be a little less, but I don't have that exact number. Unreleased, I have over 100 songs.
No kidding.
Yeah, I own my own studio, so I have the
Nice.
accessibility to just go, wake up, go right into my studio, and get to working. you
Yeah.
know. So I have that freedom and that accessibility. So that's an upside rather than having to go book a session,
hmm
work, pay for 2 hours, which I still do.
Sure.
But I would much rather have it at home. The reason why I learned to engineer and to edit my own vocals was because I would go to a studio and they would hear my vocals and immediately want to add auto tune to it.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I understand what that plugin does and what it's for.
Yeah.
But certain songs didn't need it. Certain songs didn't call for it.
hmm
But every engineer that I wanted to add into it. So
Yeah.
I learned, I sat down with these engineers side by side, while paying for my time, and I, watched, and just paid attention. And then I did some further research, educated myself, took classes on Pro Tools,
Mm-hmm.
became a Pro Tools certified engineer, and it's been going from there. That song, I Don't Know, mixed and mastered by myself.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Outstanding.
So it's nice when you can do it yourself, and therefore you don't have to explain what you're looking for.
Right.
You know that sound in your head,
Right.
and you can just pretty much duplicate it right then and there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of music.
Yeah.
Realistically, that's one thing that I love is just hearing something in my head and then creating it and putting it in sound.
That's one of the things that's so interesting about creating music is that, everyone's different and has kind of their own process. And,
Yes.
and we were even talking about this today with Hope the Rapper when he was on with us in the first hour, because he's someone who really likes to collaborate and kind of have somebody else's ideas
Yeah.
brought into the process. Whereas it sounds like you're more someone who knows what you want, and
Yeah.
and that's what you're going to do, to the point that you took the time to learn how to do
Yeah.
it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing against other engineers or anything, but when you're telling an engineer like, all right, let's do it this way,
Mhm.
this way, and then they try everything that they can to get that sound, but
Mhm.
you go and then you get a final mix and it's not what you want, and then
Right.
you need a revision
Yeah.
that requires more money, more time. One thing I don't like doing in this world is wasting time.
Yeah. Or
So,
money.
money we can get back. We
Right.
can never get our time back.
True.
You
True.
know.
Yeah.
So time to me is very important.
Yeah.
Money's replaceable.
When you would run into that, or like the engineer or the producer who's telling you, no, we should do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like, what is their motive? Like, are they kind of saying to you, this is how you have to do it to fit in so you can have a hit? Or is it more just, we just think it sounds better this way?
It could be more of we just think it sounds better this way.
Yeah.
More opinionated.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's awesome. I take constructive criticism very well.
Yeah.
But that's not how I want it to sound.
Yeah.
If I'm paying for this time and I'm paying for something to sound a certain way, I would expect it to be the way, at least, close to what I want.
Right.
It's like when you go purchase something at a store and you want that item,
Mhm.
you're going to go get that item at that size, right? You're not going to go get it 2 sizes larger or the one that's a different color, but it still has all the same wordings.
Yeah.
That's not what you really wanted, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You try and, make sure you get that particular thing. And I could blame some of my OCD for that, but
Yeah.
that's why I took the time to learn it, and
Yeah.
then, if I've, in being in the studio, I've had people where they were suggestive towards the way I should do certain things.
Yeah.
That song Problems with Hope the Rapper.
Yeah.
I did not write that chorus. That was
Oh.
something that Hope wrote.
Yeah.
He's a great lyricist, so he has a good time when it comes to writing. And then,
Yeah.
we changed it last minute in the studio.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then I took a couple takes, and they were like, all right, we got to do it over again. This, that.
Yeah.
All right, boom. That was it. That one. All right, we got to dub that. So now I got to replicate that, and it's that criticism is always accepted.
Yeah.
But, when it's someone's opinion, everybody has one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can, know where that goes from.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I always try to give the benefit of the doubt when it comes to experience and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But I've been in this a long time too.
Yeah.
I've only recently started taking it serious over the course of the past 4 or 5 years.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, me. Who knows where I'd be had I been taking it a lot serious a lot earlier.
Yeah.
But that's not here nor there. We're here today, and I'm very appreciative and humble to be sitting in this chair and meeting you as well. And going forward from there on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're glad you're here. Do you work with other artists in terms of producing? Since you obviously you have that skill set.
Yes and no. So I have, like I said, Hope and I have worked a long time. I've done a couple songs for him. Titles I can't tell you off the bat because he has so much music.
Yeah, yeah.
And I listened to a lot of it, so like I can't tell you the title of the song, but there were a few of those that were recorded in my studio.
Yeah.
They could have started as reference tracks in my studio and then been brought to another studio and been like, all right, this is how I want it to sound. And he reached that. And then who else? My nephew, Jordy DTA. He's also a local artist out of Nashua, and he's been in my studio multiple times. I hope to work with Mr. Goodbard soon and work in his studio. He's a hell of an artist.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell of an artist, great educator. He has so much information. And he's one of those artists that I respect because he doesn't gatekeep any of that information.
Yeah.
He puts it out.
Yeah.
Something similar to what I do. If I know something, I'm going to share it.
Yeah.
I have no secrets. I don't gatekeep. All you need to do is ask me. And if I have the answer, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Good Bars is amazing too because he's so diverse. Like he produces so many different kinds of music. It's remarkable.
I originally started following Good Bars when he was with the band Sepsis.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as their keyboardist. And
I think that's when I first met him too.
Yeah, that's how long I've been following him. you
Yeah.
know. And then I think over this past year we met face to face. We've always had social interactions online and stuff.
Yeah.
And this year we were at the same show, and we met. And one of the things that I remember him saying was like, "See, I know about you." He goes, "You're one of those artists that got all the ducks in a row." And I was like, "Yeah, like I do a lot of behind the scenes things.
Yeah.
I don't brag. I don't share many things. I'll share the day of." And I don't have too much of an online presence because I'm so busy trying to do things in the real world.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got to figure out a way to get both of them. But with time, that'll come.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Where are you from? Did you grow up here? Or?
I'm originally from Lawrence, Massachusetts,
Okay.
and I've been living in Nashua for over the past 13 years. So
Yeah.
I represent Nashua. It's I'm not one of those where I'm like, oh, I'm from Lawrence. No, I represent where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm in Nashua. It's been a beautiful community to me.
Yeah. A lot of
It
good things happening there.
Yeah, it has brought me a lot of success. I've shot multiple videos in that city. The video I Don't Know that's coming out next week is shot right in the middle of Main Street.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
We're going right down Main Street, have people interacting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just really had a good time doing it. Showing some of the businesses and the beauty of Nashua.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not many people get to show that, or they don't want to, me on the other hand, I do.
Yeah.
Some artists get upset. They're like, oh, my community don't support me. Well, what have you done for your community?
Right. Exactly.
You get me? So I'm doing things backwards, and I'm trying to give back to my community, doing small events and stuff, back to school give backs.
Yeah.
Hopefully partner up with somebody like Mr. Good Bars and be able to help the kids learn how to engineer, learn how to, deal with music production and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are the hopes,
Yeah.
Just if we speak it into existence and put the work into it, it is possible.
Yeah. Hope was talking about it in the first hour too. And I didn't know this at the Boys and Girls Club in Nashua. They've got, they have a studio there. Which is, I had no idea. That's really cool.
I only know that because both my nephews went to the Boys and Girls Club when I first moved to Nashua 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's something that they lived in the studio. My nephew learned how to create beats and, live sound audio, and it all stemmed from the Boys and Girls Club of
No
Nashua,
kidding.
New Hampshire. You got me? Imagine if someone, my age, 34, had that opportunity to be able to go to the Boys and Girls Club and be inside of a studio.
Yeah.
Who knows, again, where I would have been.
Right.
memory for me of Boys and Girls Club was at the ping pong table.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
we were over here betting and doing this, that on the ping pong table.
Right,
you
exactly.
know?
Yeah.
And no slight on the Lawrence Boys and Girls Club, but hopefully they have stepped it up. I don't know, but with such a large music scene, and it seems like if it's just growing and growing, so hopefully it's something that they do have. I know they have multiple studios out there, but what are we doing for the community?
Right, exactly. Yeah, because when I think of the Boys and Girls Club, I think of athletic type things. So I was surprised when he was talking about the studio, but I said that's really cool.
It's an opportunity for those young kids that do love music or that are lost and don't know something what to do. You're good with video editing. You're good with this, that. You have a great opportunity to become something, self-made.
Right.
You get me? Where you don't have to depend on the corporate America.
Right.
And actually live the American dream, as they say, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we should play another track.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I'll let you pick.
If I would have to pick All I Know.
All I Know.
Yeah,
Do that one.
that's one of my most popular singles.
Oh, okay.
It's a crowd pleaser. It's a song that I wrote and dedicated to my wife.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Is she listening?
She should be. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, here we go. I got it. All right. We'll give this a listen. If you're just joining us, we have FateOne here with us live in studio, and this is called All I Know.
Let me take you out to space, yeah. Let me take you out your place, yeah. Let me take you out to space, yeah. Let me take you out your place, yeah. All I know is all I know, and I know I can control what can be for. Let me take you out to space, yeah. Let me take you out your place, yeah. All I know is all I know, and I know I can control what can be for. Let me take you out your comfort zone. Promise you won't be alone. Just know I'm always coming home. Clocking out after close. No matter if I'm on the road, you know I'm always on the go. Making sure we never broke. 10 toes is all I know. Under pressure never fold. From the concrete we done rose. From the jungle came the growth. All I know is all I know. I can't control what can be. Let me take you out to space, yeah. Let me take you out your place, yeah. All I know is all I know, and I know I can control what can be for. Let me take you out to space, yeah. Let me take you out your place, yeah. All I know is all I know, and I know I can control what can be for. Let me heal your heart, don't hide your scars. Amazing just the way you are. Trust and loyalty goes far. Let me take you to Mars, we can see the stars. Walk down Hollywood Boulevard, buy a house and some cars, set some goals to start. So we gotta think smart, cause some get it easy, I'd rather work hard. Yeah, some get it easy, I'd rather work hard. 10 toes is all I know, under pressure never fold. From the concrete we done rose, from the jungle came the growth. All I know is all I know, I can't control what can be. Let me take you out to space, yeah. Let me take you out your place, yeah. All I know is all I know, and I know I can control what can be for. Let me take you out to space, yeah. Let me take you out your place, yeah. All I know is all I know, and I know I can control what can be for.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
I didn't
Love it.
I didn't even want to talk over the end. It's just nice. I just wanted to let it fade out. That's cool.
I hear you.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, we have FateOne here with us live in studio. and that is called All I Know. Great track. And yeah, you were kind of saying off air, like you have to play it at every show, or people get upset if they don't hear it.
Yeah. It's one of my most popular songs. If they don't hear it, they're like, it's whether I start with it or I end with it.
Yeah.
There's, the one time I think I didn't do it, they were like, "Where's that song? That's all I know." Like, I was like, I didn't have enough time. Like,
Yeah.
But every time I perform, I try and make sure that I get it on there. And, I've gotten up to the point where I sing it almost completely live with the exception of the chorus.
Yeah. Do you play out a lot? Do you do a lot of shows?
This past year, no. Last year I was on a crazy show run, and then the year before, I was on the crazy show run as well. Working with multiple promoters, One Eye Visuals being one of them.
Yeah.
Talk of the Town being another one with Jizzy Hendrix. He is, out of the Boston area and stuff like that. So I was able to network with him and expand my outlet over there towards that area. And then One Eye Visuals, we did a lot of things mainly in Lowell. Was able to learn a lot of things from both these great promoters to the point where, last year I exercised my first show, and my hat to them, because I ran my own show. And let me tell you, one of the hardest things to do is to manage other artists.
Yes.
With them, managing their music sets, the DJ and this, that. And I did that show with another artist as well, my buddy Karan. And we collabed and we did that show, and we did it as a competition for One Eye Visuals. He was like, "Oh, like a lot of you artists talk about this, that, that you're going to do your own show, this, that, but you don't know what it takes to do it.
Yeah.
I challenge you to do this." The only one that accepted the challenge was Karan and I.
Oh, no kidding.
So we did it, and we had a successful show. We won his challenge. We were able to continue to work with him, and then, we've done a couple shows since then, but I've been really focusing on the back ends of the things with the music, focusing on promotion. I released my EP last year, and we got some good numbers and good results on there, but I am very adamant of not dropping any new music until I surpass a certain amount of streams on my EP.
Yeah.
Which is 100,000 streams. And I'm a little over halfway throughout the whole project. You get me? Once I reach that goal, I'll start releasing, because I am ready to release, but it's just some people just focus on releasing new music to try and boost the algorithm.
Yeah.
Failing to realize that you're actually sitting and killing on your own music.
Yeah.
You get me? You can drop every week, every month and stuff like that, but you're not letting the rest of your music settle and let that be heard.
You can oversaturate that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand that there's over 100,000 songs being uploaded on streaming platforms on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But if you focus on the stuff that you already have out and you promote that stuff, when you continue to release, those listeners that you have now grown and you have now connected with that original sound are going to continue to listen to your new stuff.
Yeah.
And then potentially show it to somebody new. So I do a lot of the back end studying. I try to always inform myself with a lot of things that are going on. I like I said, I've been in this many years, and I did things the wrong way many times.
Yeah.
Up until this last rebrand. You get me? I rebranded myself over the course of the 5 years.
Yeah.
Trademark my logo, trademark my company, and then been able to just learn and, apply some of the things that I learned from hard lessons into this now, and it's working.
Yeah.
You get me? So now I can apply those things with some of my artists, and try and help them out, because I'm all about giving back, giving forward. If somebody didn't teach me, if somebody taught me, and I kept that to myself.
Yeah.
how right would I be by keeping that, instead of passing it forward?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
that almost be hypocritical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to be that. So try to educate as best as I can, with what I've learned. Yeah, I mean.
What do you think do you have any examples of like mistakes that you made that you had to learn from that you then try to pass on to other people?
So one thing, in my early start of music career, I was putting out music and I was wondering why wasn't it catching attention?
Hmm.
Why are these other artists catching attention? This, that. And I got envious and jealous, thinking that, like, oh, I don't get support, from my community, this, that, my family, and this, that.
Yeah.
No, it was actually that I wasn't doing the work. I was just going into the studio and recording things,
Yeah.
and then posting it online and expecting it to blow up.
Right.
I didn't know the business things behind it.
Hmm.
I didn't know the promotion ends behind it, getting the licensing, this, that. So those were some of the mistakes,
Yeah.
where, I got copyright stricken, where I had to take something down because I used it without permission. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, what's copyright?
Right.
Learned about it. All right. Didn't make this mistake again. I used to complain about support, and then I was like wondering, this, that. And then as you see, it's completely opposite now,
Yeah.
where it's like, all right, I know why people aren't supporting me. I'm not doing much, but over the past 4 years, I've been doing shows. I've been working with other artists, going to go support their shows, whether
Mhm.
I'm on it, whether I'm not, and just focusing on doing the groundwork so that way I can actually have something to fall back on and be like, yeah, no, I did last year I did 40 shows.
Yeah.
The year before that I did 80. The year before that we were at 100 shows and stuff like that. Almost every two a week, and it can be overwhelming, but it's something that comes with this business. You have to do a lot of work before you actually even see any of the benefits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So understanding that as well, stardom doesn't come overnight.
Yeah.
A lot of these stars that you think broke out overnight, you go to see their documentary and you fail to realize, like, oh, they've been doing this since 2010. They've
Yeah.
been doing this since 2005.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just now that you're getting to know them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference. So starting with the roots of the community, working with I keep on saying the community, because that's who I'm looking to support me first.
Yeah.
If something happens, I know that it happened because of my community.
Yeah.
Yeah, me. Not because I sold my soul or not because, I got lucky and stuff. No, I've been putting in the groundwork. I've been working with my community so that way they can have something to be proud of.
Right.
Yeah, me. And just move forward from there on, the definition of fate is the development of events beyond a person's control, right? So I try to always foresee the events that could potentially happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I got my name. And
Yeah. I was curious about that, where the name comes from.
yeah, so it's like where when I was younger, I would tell my friends like, hey, like, something's gonna happen. I got a bad feeling.
Mm.
And they were like, oh, okay, like, like we're gonna call you Destiny. And I was like, I didn't like that too much, so I went into the dictionary and I looked up the, similar word to destiny. And
Yeah.
fate it was. And then I liked it and I stuck with it. And then I added the one at the end for various reasons, in the tag in, graffiti industry.
Mhm.
A lot of the times when you add one, you're paying homage to somebody that passed away, paying homage to somebody that has been in jail. So like One Love,
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
yeah. And then the other way is like, I am one of a kind.
Yeah.
I am the only one, there might be other fates out there, but I am one.
Yeah.
Fate one. and that's trademarked, licensed,
Yep.
and you don't mess with it. I can sue you.
Right. Yeah. Smart. Yeah.
And that's where that name came from. And I'm not an artist where I have a persona. This is me. I live the same way. I try to always be positive. I try to always foresee what's coming for me.
Yeah.
Always plan ahead, and try and fix something if I can't. And if I can't, I gotta let go.
Yeah.
And let whatever else, fix it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it's not in my control, why am I gonna stress myself over it?
Right.
And that's where that name stems from. And I've always stuck with it, and it's been nice,
Yeah.
And I try to make sure that anything I sing about, anything that I write about, it's whether something that I lived, I went through. I don't want to end up, having to go back on myself, or, get called out for something that I don't really do. And then all things fall apart, or my persona gets killed because of that. Like this, that. No, I just live the way I live. I am who I am.
Yeah. It's interesting what you say there, because a lot of artists will try to, create a persona.
Yeah.
And is something either bigger than, sort of bigger than life, or maybe even something kind of negative, like like they want to come across as like they're some sort of violent criminal.
I'm just trying to be myself, man.
Yeah.
Whether my past obviously had something to do with it, but it's irrelevant today. You know what I mean? I'm not that same person that I was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But I have learned from my mistakes of the past. Whether I did certain things, I always try to make sure that, one thing, I don't incriminate myself in music. I also don't tell a lie, and on top of making sure I don't tell a lie, I try to always keep it positive for the most part, even though it's not the most popular thing out there. My song, I Don't Know, was pretty much stating that I really don't care what most people think about me. Your opinion is your opinion, and you're entitled to it.
Right.
At the end of the day, it doesn't make you right, doesn't make you wrong. And that's how you feel about me, then, so be it.
Yeah.
If I treated somebody disrespectful, or if I treated somebody with love, and I always say, believe both of them. I treat people accordingly.
Yeah.
So if I was rude to you, you deserved it.
Right.
If I was nice to you, you also deserved it as
Yeah.
well. And that's always what I try to do, because I just try to treat people the way I'd like to be treated.
Yeah.
We're all human beings. If, we're cut, at the end of the day, we bleed the same way.
Yeah.
We breathe, we eat the same way. We all need the same things. We're all humans.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it.
Well, plus, by just kind of being honest about everything, it's, what's the expression? It's, tell the truth, it's less to remember, or something, and,
Yeah. Lies are hard to keep up with.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta-
Then you got to remember who you told what. Yep.
I'm good with that. Yeah, no, I'd rather not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Keeping up with those lies is crazy.
Yeah. To be so positive and everything, have you had mentors in the music industry? Are there people who've helped you along the way? I mean, obviously, you're willing to dig in and learn everything yourself, but are there people who've been an influence on you in the industry, or just in general?
In the industry, I have many like influences. I wouldn't say that they're all positive because of the way that their music is brought out.
Yeah.
Someone like Big Pun, but then I can go in my Rolodex and literally go to somebody like John Legend. Which are complete opposite.
Yeah.
So being influenced to just stay positive is just something that I learned to live, how I learned to live, because negativity just doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
And then it's just very toxic.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'd rather not be in a toxic environment.
Yeah,
I'd rather
course.
not be in a negative environment. Whether positivity is the most popular thing or not, I'm being myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's my main thing, is that I'm being myself, and that, I could potentially, help somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that would be great if I help somebody else, at least one. If I reached one person, and I reach one every day, that's the goal, man.
And I assume you probably have heard from people who've approached you and said, "Yeah,
I love your music, this, that, it has happened, and it's a great feeling, when you can get somebody to identify with your trials and tribulations,
Yeah.
And just it's a beautiful thing again.
Yeah, yeah. And in terms of your singing, is there anyone who's kind of like who inspires your style? Are there singers who have been an influence on you in terms of how you sing?
There's a couple. So, again, it's like Usher for me. I grew up listening to Usher. Ladies, man, always singing to the ladies and stuff like that. I love that. You get me?
Yeah.
And then Tony Sunshine, which it's very similar to my style, where he's dealing with a lot of hip hop, but he's singing in it. And he's bringing out those emotions out of those songs with the Terror Squad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there's Mark Anthony, which is a salsero. 90. I mean, a lot of the salsa at the end of the day is about stories. Mark Anthony played a role in a movie for Hector Lavoe, and he pretty much captured that guy's persona and that guy's voice and everything to the point where they were like, whoa, is that Mark Anthony or Hector Lavoe?
Yeah.
But these things, they bring out the trials and tribulations. Hector Lavoe used to sing about his drug use, his depression, the life that he lived and stuff like that. So just combining all those things, all those artists, and just creating my sound off of that. I could sing any Usher song.
Yeah.
Word for word, to a point where I could almost duplicate some of his tones.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Most of Tony Sunshine's, almost every Mark Anthony, and then you go further back, that's Hector Lavoe as well, which is all salsa.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
Not just hip hop, R&B. You get me? Being Puerto Rican, growing up in a Puerto Rican household, and in an urban area, you'd be surprised the things that you hear. Dance hall, Afro beats.
I can imagine.
Everything, and again, the beauty of music is just being able to move and hear that and feel that rhythm. And that's what I love about it. You know? I feel the most comfortable when I'm in front of a mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get nervous at first, but the moment that I'm on stage and stuff like that, and or in front of a podcast, I just feel like I'm at home.
Right. Right.
And it's just it feels great.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I'm naturally an introvert, but I'm so because of that. It's just how my brain is wired. I'm actually most comfortable in front of a microphone, whether it's doing the show or on. I'm a musician. I'm not active with that, but I used to play in a lot of bands, or being on stage or public speaking. Like I'm actually more comfortable doing that than I am at, say, a party where I'm trying to have a conversation with a stranger or something.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I usually go out to these venues if I'm performing. I am a homebody. The reason why I have a home studio.
Yeah. You got a good reason to stay
home. And not trying to be cheap or anything, but you can go outside nowadays and you spend $100 the moment that you go outside.
Yeah. I know.
That's just gas and food,
Yeah.
And so it's just trying to stay out of the way. I try to go out when it's necessary.
Yeah.
I'm a very family first guy.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I'd rather spend time with my family. If I'm not in the studio, I'm with family. If I'm not at an event, I'm with family. If I'm not working, I'm with family.
Yeah.
and just try and do that, whether it's laying down in bed watching a movie or just sitting down in the couch playing some video games.
Right.
It's it's okay. I'd rather be doing that than out and about, getting into trouble or, who knows what can happen nowadays in the world that we live in. It's
course,
a scary place, right?
Yeah.
Or having to be prepared for those kind of situations and stuff like that. I'm not a person that really has anxiety, but those things kind of give me anxiety.
Sure. Yeah. Have you always been like that, or were you different when you were younger? Because like I can tell, like in my case, people assume that when I was young. Were you? Yeah,
I was a bad kid, man.
Were you? Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a very early upbringing, where I was just running around early on.
Yeah.
I mentioned that I was doing music for many of years.
Yeah.
I was in a club at 14, 15 years old, singing this one Spanish song that didn't even belong to me, because my brother was a club promoter and he would bring a lot of the Spanish artists down to Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I would always be an opening act, so I shared stages with some of these major artists, some like Nicky Jam, Hector Tito, Tego Calderon, and some of these names you may know, some of these you may not, but in the Latin culture and the Latin community, they know those names are very big. I have the pleasure of saying that I shared the stage with them at 14 years old.
That's not a bad way to start.
You get me? That was 20 years ago. You get me? But I was young, dumb, and I was focused on all the wrong things.
Yeah.
Not focusing on my schooling, just focusing on all the wrong things.
But it's kind of a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Because you may have focused on the wrong things in one sense, but at the same time, you had that amazing opportunity.
Yes, I got that, and then I learned.
Yeah.
I learned, and I just apply a lot of the things that I learned growing up, and I just actually applied it. It's like, how can you fix something if you don't know about it? But if you know about it and you did nothing about it to fix it, and you want to change, well, that's insanity right there, my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just all about knowing and, trying.
What changed for you? Was there a moment that kind of changed things, that kind of changed your mindset, or was it a gradual thing?
My mother passing away.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. She passed away 6 years ago. It was one of the toughest things that I deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I was on the verge of giving up music because of that, the lack of support and, just not knowing, not being educated about it.
Yeah.
And one of the promises I made, while she was, on her last day, was that I'm going to continue with my music. And that's exactly what I did. In 2018, I dropped a project that was nowhere near ready to be released.
Yeah.
But I did it anyways, just so I can, claim it and start it. And I pride myself in knowing, it may be a fact or not, but I want to say I was one of these artists that was on streaming platforms before a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Because of the research and the information that I gained. Like, in 2018, I dropped my first project with CD Baby. I didn't see any of my artist friends or any of them dropping on streaming platforms where they were on Spotify, Apple. And next thing you know, 2019, everybody's doing it.
Yep.
I'm not saying that I started it or anything like that, but I know I was one of the first artists that started doing it. And I even learned from that, not having quality music. It's like, oh yeah, like I could play this, but it's not mixed and mastered correctly. It's not going to sound the best, and think, oh, okay, all right, but then your ego gets the best of you, and so I had to struggle with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, let's learn how to mix and master, learn that, and then I think in 2019, I partnered with a audio engineer out of Las Vegas. And it was 2020 actually, because it was around COVID.
Okay.
Where everybody was online, everybody was thinking, I sent him my vocals. He mixed and edited, threw a little bit of auto tune in there. which I kind of wanted because, I was like, this is a little rough. I recorded it in my studio, that, sent them some nice, clean vocals. And, my song, I didn't send it to you, but I will eventually. The song I'm Blessed, is what I kind of started back off with.
Yeah.
Like, that was where I rebranded myself, had my new logo, had a song that was mixed and mastered, ready for distribution, ready for radio, and I took pride in that. So I went, recorded a video to it, then I released everything just like a mainstream artist would do.
Yeah.
Everything on the same day, the video, the vocals, all that released.
Yeah.
And I that was one of my, greatest moments.
Yeah.
It's one of my least sought out after songs, because again, the positivity, not many people go towards positive.
Right.
Right. You're bound to have something negative posted on social media that's going to become viral.
Yes.
Versus something that, is very positive and could also be viral and have the same effect.
Yeah.
But they won't do it because it's positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I try to always shed light on those positive things.
Yeah.
I try not to post negative things. I go find myself on social media wanting to say something negative, and then I'm like, delete. And then I find myself, well, I almost wrote something negative on this post, but I didn't, and then I get congratulatory things from friends and stuff like that. Like, oh, okay, you're trying to stay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody's human, and that song started it off for me. And then I did a song with a local artist as well, GMT Mark B. And that was like my first feature.
Oh.
He was more established out in Nashua than I was. He had more of a following than I was. I happened to be in the same studio, and I played him a beat, and I showed him the chorus, because that's how I start all my songs. I always have a chorus for all my songs. And, he was like, oh, I like that. Let's do that. All right, boom. And then that came on, and then did the same thing again. That was my first video with One Eye Visuals.
Oh, okay.
Partnered with him, set a release date, had to change the release date because, it was a little too soon. The editing stuff wasn't done. And I got a little lashing from One Eye Visuals. It was like, don't do that again. Like, like, he was like, you guys shouldn't do that until it's ready. I was like, you're right. And then I learned from that, so to make sure that I'm not releasing nothing unless, or setting a date on something before it's actually complete.
Yeah.
Setting a date on an EP before it's actually complete, and then, you set false expectations, and that can also screw you over as an artist too, because you're over here selling dreams, and realistically there's nothing to sell.
Right.
So just making sure that I have everything ready before I even announce it.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like I try to I avoid from making any announcements.
Yeah.
As best as I can, just in case if things fall through, and that way I don't look a certain type of way.
I totally get that. Yep.
And, like today, I think I made then I was like, I'll be on 95.3. I copied the link and I shared it to a few of my family members, a few of my friends.
Yep.
And I told them I'll be on at this time. Like, I knew I was coming. I made it happen. And once I knew that was happening, all right, boom.
Yep.
Made time to be here, and it's been good so far. Not a far drive, 35 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not far.
Yeah.
Well, we are, however, almost out of time. The time goes so quick. So
time flies when you're having fun.
We'll close out the show with this track, Business. But
yes.
Just quickly, what should people know about how to follow you online? Where should they go to keep up with everything that you're doing?
Yes. So I am pretty nice and simple. It's FateOne_HSM across all platforms.
Okay.
That's TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube even. You can also go to my website, IamFateOne.com, where you'll find all my music. You'll find any ways to reach me, all of my socials as well. And then if you have me as a friend on Facebook, you know that I am Yeshua FateOne Marquez. Because again, this is not a persona. This is who I am.
Yep.
So I try to always keep it, yes, I keep my work world separate versus the music world, but eventually they will not collide, but, almost blend.
Yeah.
And stuff. The work that I do allows me to pay for the stuff that I need.
Yeah.
And just be able to, open doors for me and stuff like that.
Yep.
And just continue to, move forward, man.
Absolutely. Well, we really appreciate your coming in today.
Thank you.
And,
I appreciate being here and meeting you guys, and I look forward to what the future holds for us.
Absolutely. And Jenny, you want to plug your website before we go?
Absolutely.
You got a lot going on lately.
I have, actually, yes. And I still have some stuff to update on the website, but you can check it out at jenncoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com. And if you happen to go down to Terminus tonight for the show, you can check out 12 of my darkest paintings.
Yes.
Hanging on display for the month of August at the Nashua Creative Collective. I said it wrong. Midnight Creatives Collective.
Yep.
Sorry for the tongue.
FateOne, thank you again.
Thank you.
Wonderful to
Appreciate
have you
being
on. Absolutely.
I've been about my business, minding my business, I've been about my business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I'm charged up like I'm top 10. I know he's listening, Lord forgive me for my sins. All I'm trying to do is win, they can't keep up with my trend. Trying to keep up with my pen. Welcome to my den. Some survive but it depends. Some keep reaching and overspend. Some keep speeding towards that end. They regress and I ascend. I stay genuine. It's not something you can lend. Some don't seem to comprehend. I stay genuine. Gotta keep one eye open for those who pretend. I don't need no fake love, no need no new friends. Gotta keep one eye open for those who pretend. I don't need no fake love, no need no new friends. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. If you talking money, better be ready to invest, no more handouts. I can't focus on the rest. Work ethics at my best. I'm too busy being blessed. Finessing all my lessons. I don't need any more stress. Been conquering all my demons. Burned off all my leeches. Kept my head below a ceiling. Started with nothing but the seasons. The seasons keep repeating. All my goals have been exceeded. Keep doubting me, keep sleeping. I'ma keep feeding those who need it. Gotta keep one eye open for those who pretend. I don't need no fake love. No need no new friends. Gotta keep one eye open for those who pretend. I don't need no fake love, no need no new friends. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business, minding my own business, building my own bridges, yeah. I've been about my business.